Hey, welcome back to the Uncool show. I'm Dylan,
I'm Nathan.
and we are on episode 14 of the Uncool show. And today we're doing a tiny little bit of a shift. Instead of doing a film retrospective, so to speak, this will be the first installment in the now playing show, so to speak. So this will be pretty much the same content, but a little more short form. A little less structure, not that we are too structured to begin with, but and these will, of course, be movies that are now playing. And last night, Nathan's wife Mallory, and I saw One Battle After Another in IMAX, the new Paul Thomas Anderson film. And without saying too much, it was incredible. Nathan, give our growing viewership a little taste.
Well, this is the new, like Dylan said, the new PTA movie, Paul Thomas Anderson, and this is his first outing with Leo DiCaprio, a partnership that has been about 25 years in the making.
Yep.
They finally get to work together, two powerhouses in the film industry. One of my favorite actors, one of your favorite, if not, he's one of our favorites, and he's probably the best actor working right now.
He's Leo.
Consistently.
What do you need to say for Leonardo DiCaprio?
Right.
Even people who aren't big fans of him, they respect the talent.
Leo, the one name moniker Leo is synonymous with movies and pop culture.
Yep.
You say Leo, you think of DiCaprio and his long storied career of awesome work.
Yep.
And
that continues.
That
continues.
It absolutely continues, and also PTA's long storied career also continues as one of the peak directors of his era.
I think he's top 3 working right now for me.
Right. Same with here.
PTA is an incredible talent, both as a writer, a director. He every single PTA movie is a tentpole event for me and for Nathan, for a lot of film nerds around the world. People have been waiting for his follow-up for a while, and he didn't disappoint.
No,
he really did not. And again, as you said, Leo was almost in Boogie Nights. This is something that the two of them have skated around each other and circled each other and then crossed each other off multiple times. And it really is a pleasure to see it all come together after all this time. We're not going to try to give too many spoilers, of course. We want these to go encourage you to support these movies, to go experience these movies in theaters.
Go see it on the biggest screen you can.
This is one of those movies.
It's a testament to the IMAX, format. I was just telling Dylan before we recorded, this is one of the first. I've seen a couple movies in IMAX. I want to go see more after seeing this. I think that on that format, this film looked incredible. I'm sure it looks great on any screen you go see it. Go see it on any screen you can. But the IMAX just lended itself to how epic and visually inventive this whole movie is.
Yeah.
And this is going into PTA. This is him flexing his chops as a filmmaker. This is him turning more commercial in a way, but still keeping his, strange idiosyncrasies and his calling cards.
His very unique sensibility.
Yes.
He is one of, and to me, there aren't many directors where you could put me blindly in front of one of their movies and be like, oh, this is a Fincher movie. This is a PTA movie. But the way he shoots, especially close-ups, I don't know what kind of lenses he uses, but it's very indicative of what we've seen from him his whole career. Beautiful color palette, beautiful lighting. But like you said, this is a more commercial movie, and that is not a detriment to this movie at all. This is a very interesting source material. Based off of a Thomas Pynchon novel, and Thomas Pynchon is a very weird author, very reclusive, very brilliant. He's written some of the most impressive novels ever, and adapting anything from him is really difficult. And I think Inherent Vice showed that. That's not a very commercial movie at all.
No.
Very hard to get into. I love it, but it's not commercial at all. This really takes that weird Pynchon PTA vibe, this like weird stoner, noir, mystery type of world that both of them can create together, and ratchets it up.
Right.
And really makes it fun and crazy, anxiety-inducing. What I'm trying to think how we can give a little plot introduction.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
I'll do my best, and
Yeah, do
you
it.
fill in the blanks.
You're gonna do a great job.
So this movie is simply about kind of a man and his daughter, or a man and his daughter. We'll keep it at that.
Yeah.
No, we'll try to stay away from spoilers, if at all possible. But it's about Leo DiCaprio's character, Bob Ferguson, and his daughter Willa, and Bob's past was revolving around a revolutionary group called the French 75, which leaned into more of like political violence, into bombings, taking people out of the like migrant camps at the border, to like abortion clinics, to banks. So these people, especially Bob,
Anti-capitalist,
Yes. Anti-establishment.
Yep.
And he was sort of this like, at the beginning, he comes into this group, meets Tiana Taylor's character, and they have a kid together. And eventually, Sean Penn's character, Stephen J. Lockjaw, which is a great
name.
great character name.
Yeah.
Who
You know
is-
who he is even before you don't
Right.
see him, just because of the name. It really is perfect.
He's a military leader who's after this group, and eventually Leo's character and Tiana Taylor's character, they eventually fall in love, but then there's a breaking point and they separate, and that's kind of the prologue of the movie.
Yep.
Those three, Leo, Tiana, and Sean Penn's characters intersecting and how they weave into each other's narratives, and then eventually 16 years later, Leo DiCaprio's character,
the group has been,
it's disbanded.
some of them are
/ dead.
some of them have moved
Arrested.
on, some of them are arrested, and a couple of them are still fighting the good fight, so to speak. But yeah, 16 years later, Leo's character has changed quite a bit.
Yes, he's becoming this stoner dad he's a loser
He's
now.
a loser.
And
Yeah.
he's way past his revolutionary days. He is very out of touch with culture, and he's like talking about how he's spending nights with his probably stoner buddies, other losers in that that small community. But his daughter is very precocious, very wise for her age.
Yeah.
And kind of has the same, passion for the world that her mother did. And eventually, Stephen J. Lockjaw, Sean Penn's character, is trying to find her and find Bob.
He's tying up loose ends.
Yes.
There
Yes.
are people from 16 years ago that still not haunt him, but he obsesses over. Sean Penn's character is a very obsessive, a very idiosyncratic guy. Very unique character, very unique performance. I don't know how many people could have done this other than Sean Penn. He has a very unique look and a sensibility about him that really worked here. But yeah, his character, Stephen Lockjaw, is tying up loose ends, and he is tipped off to the location of where these two are hiding. And from that point, all the setup becomes a cannonball rolling down a hill,
Yes.
picking up steam, picking up trash, and it all turns into this chase from that point.
It's a chase movie, basically.
It turns into a chase movie, where Leo's bumbling, idiotic, too stoned to function, too paranoid to think, character is fighting for his life and his daughter's life, and he is giving it every ounce. Both his characters giving every ounce for his daughter, and Leo is giving every ounce as a performer.
Very physical performance.
Very physical, very funny. Maybe the most comedic we've seen Leo,
Yes.
at least since Wolf of Wall Street.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
He's good at playing nowadays very insecure characters who are not, they don't feel good in their own skin.
Nope. They hate themselves.
They hate
They're
themselves.
struggling with this or that.
They don't know how to interact with society. I think that's
Yep.
kind of where, in whatever society they find themselves in, like in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, he's this kind of down and out actor.
Alcoholic in that one.
Don't Look Up, a lesser movie, but he's this scientist who is trying to find a way to warn the world of the impending doom. And in this, he's, like we said, this stoner dad who is completely out of touch with his daughter's life,
Yep.
his own life, and he does just smoke pot and drink all
and
day
watch movies and just
in his little shack.
He's just living in a shack off grid. Doesn't seem to have any money coming in. Again, is very paranoid. Doesn't want his daughter to have a cell phone. Doesn't want his daughter to participate in social events of any kind. He's still fighting the fight up here, even though the war is over.
Right.
But then the war does come back, and all of his, paranoia that he's probably been living off of for the last decade and a half does come true, and things do happen, and this movie is 3 hours long almost. It doesn't feel like it, but I couldn't tell you how long the sequence is after he really starts running, but from that point on, the movie is at 90 miles per hour, and there's a ton of information coming at you, a ton of jokes coming at you. This is I think the funniest PTA movie.
Probably since Boogie Nights, I would say. Boogie Nights is really funny, very dark.
But it has a tragic tilt to it
So does this, though, in a way.
It does, yeah.
But I think this probably is his most outright funny.
Yeah.
And it has a ton of laugh lines. We were in a great audience.
We were.
That respond. It was a small audience, but they really responded to the movie like we did. And I think going back to Leo, I think it is probably his most funny performance.
Because, like you said, it's very physical. Watching Leo do physical comedy isn't done very often anymore. It's kind of a relic of a bygone era. From Abbott and Costello all the way to Farley, when Farley was at his peak on SNL and everything was physical. Sandler did a lot of all those SNL guys really. There was a lot of physical.
Farrell.
Yeah.
You can go down the line.
There's always been physical comedy on SNL and all those ancillary pieces, but just culturally, physical comedy isn't doing as well.
No.
Melissa McCarthy had her moment with physical comedy.
Yes.
But to watch a filmmaker of this level and watch an actor like Leo lean into it is a really unique experience. We can touch on Benicio del Toro really quickly.
Sensei Sergio.
He is the sensei. If you've seen the trailers to this movie, that's the main moment in the trailer. Benicio's great in this.
Very understated.
Very understated. You can tell that him and Bob have a relationship where there doesn't even have to be words, really.
No.
The moment he sees Bob, he's like, all right, time to help. He doesn't even... I don't, maybe you noticed this. He never asks Bob if he wants a beer.
He just throws it to him.
He's just constantly feeding him beer so that Bob will level out a little bit.
Yes.
Every single time that Leo is going on a little moment, he just cracks open a Modelo and silently puts it in front of him. He's a very loving, very organized, very Zen type of guy.
Very Zen. He's the steadiest hand, I would say, in the whole entire movie. Besides maybe Regina Hall's character, who we'll get to in a second.
Yeah.
But Benicio kind of brings, like you said, he kind of centers Bob, and he kind of brings him back down slowly to reality.
And you do meet him through the chase. That's why I brought him up. Right when Leo is starting to run, he's like, I need to find Sensei. That's the first person he's going
who is
to.
teaching his daughter karate.
Yep.
So they have that relationship where he trusts him because, you're helping my daughter along where I can't. You're actually teaching her these, practices that are bringing her back into reality and helping her establish some sort of identity in herself.
Yep.
And Bob desperately needs that, and that's Sensei for him. And it seems like Sensei Sergio is kind of that for the whole entire community.
Yeah, he's that for everybody who knows him.
Because in the midst of this chase with Bob and Sean Penn's character, and then trying to find his daughter, Sean Penn's character, Lockjaw, and his military outfit are raiding this community and trying desperately, however they can, to find the daughter.
Yep.
And Sergio is kind of, everyone is coming to him with these concerns, and he's harboring a lot of migrants too in this community and helping them get out of the town. And even with all this chaos going around Benicio's character, he's so centered, and he's baked into reality, and he's not too up or too down, while Bob's character is completely fluctuating.
The whole film.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really I think this is maybe the most likable Benicio performance, just in terms of his character. And he's had a good run of playing really interesting characters, but this guy's so warm and likable. I went on Reddit and read the Reddit movie discussion for this right after it came out, and multiple comments were like, I would watch a Benicio del Toro, Sensei Sergio spinoff. It'll never happen, but it would be really cool to, inhabit his world a little bit, because his world feels very lived in and very real. As you said, his community, which is hidden and like throughout this weaving apartment building, is really cool. That whole sequence of that apartment building is really cool.
It is. And
also very funny with Leo bumbling to remember a certain password to these revolutionaries. I thought that was one of the better, just him like, this isn't a spoiler, just, like, I've smoked too much. I don't remember. This is who I am.
I've abused,
please help me.
I've abused
drugs and
marijuana.
Alcohol.
Yeah, drugs and alcohol for so long. I can't remember
years.
This.
He's like, give me credit for knowing the first couple of them.
Yep. Great phone acting. Like, he's acting to nobody on the phone, and it feels so real and intense and so funny.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of the comedy, I think, comes from, especially in that second act.
I think he is the comedy of the movie.
Yep.
And then almost every other character around him is completely grounded, which makes the dynamic between him and all these characters really unique and fun. His daughter, played by
Chase Infinity.
Yes. Her film debut.
First movie.
She's done some TV work.
She was in Presumed Innocent?
Okay.
Yeah, the new Jake Gyllenhaal show.
The Jake Gyllenhaal show on Apple. Yeah, I didn't see that. I know Gus did, I'm sure.
Yeah, I did.
But really impressed with her. She clearly has a really bright future ahead of her. If PTA puts you in a movie for your first role, things seem to start to happen for you.
Look at Cooper Hoffman.
The Haim
Alana
sister,
Haim,
Alana.
Yeah.
Mark
Wahlberg.
Absolutely. You could go back throughout a couple of his movies and find a young actor who, PTA knew they had something, and that was kind of it. And this is clearly that. She is really, really good in this. I think other than Leo, she has the hardest role.
She's always in peril. She's most of the time in peril and in the middle of a chase.
Yep.
And she is really asked to really lead the movie, I think, especially in the third act, in terms of driving the narrative and the story.
Yes. Yep.
She is used in a car chase sequence. She's abducted and has to get out of a situation where she might be killed, and she's held hostage by Sean Penn at one point. And it's a very, all over the place third act, but she is thrown right in the middle of it and asked to do a lot from PTA, and she delivers like a lot,
really well
for her age. And it's her first movie. That's incredible.
Again, PTA just has such a vision for talent, and I can't wait to see what she does coming up. Same with Cooper Hoffman. It's just really fun to watch these young actors blossom, and I bet both of those actors continue to work with PTA in some capacity.
I think so.
Especially Cooper, just because of the ties there. But, we did touch on Sean Penn. Just getting back to Sean Penn, his arc, his character, one of the stranger villain characters you'll ever see. And he is the villain, the main villain, so to speak. But there's something so deeply tragic and off-putting and gross and sad about his villain. That's, to me, what makes a good villain, really, is like there's a touch of humanity in there, and he's really good at bringing that out.
He's trying to extract that humanity out of him.
By any means necessary.
Right, he's trying to eradicate his past.
Yep.
And trying to, give up his humanity to enter into this secret society,
Yeah.
Which is a
whole other thing.
A whole other
I don't think we should touch on that too much because
No.
there's so much.
That's a
on
good
that.
surprise.
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
But I did mention SNL before. SNL, one of the best comedic writers of all time, Jim Downey, has a fun little role in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Most people know him from the Epstein, the financial,
The financial, the financier.
the financier.
Yeah.
It's that guy.
The
from that
Conan podcast
Yeah,
clip.
But to a lot of other people, he's the most brilliant comedic writer of all time. He has a case for it.
He does.
He just does.
He's probably the most prolific SNL writer of his time.
Widely respected, still widely used all over the place, and it was really fun to watch him pop up, along with a couple of Lost alum.
Oh yes,
the Lost, the television show. There's some surprises in the third act and some weird things in the third act that are just fun. Some work, some don't, at least for me. But this movie never lets up in terms of its entertainment value.
No.
In terms of its pace. I think this is one of the best paced films I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Again, for 2:47, it didn't feel that long. It really moves. It is a frenetic, uncut gems type of pace for people who've seen that. The score by Johnny Greenwood really underscores this anxiety. Johnny Greenwood of Radiohead fame, who has become a brilliant film composer.
And a good collaborator with PTA.
Yeah, he does everything with PTA now in terms of music, and he should. Johnny's a musical genius. I think film scoring is in a really good place between Johnny Greenwood, Ludwig Göransson of Black Panther
and Oppenheimer.
Sinners, Oppenheimer. Those two are going to get Oscar nominations for this for sure. Same with the 9 Inch Nails guys, Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. We have 3 really talented younger. Justin Hurwitz. There's so many actually, but film scoring's in a great place right now, and Johnny really brings an interesting mix of tension and anxiety, and some weird sound effects, and it's just great.
It's very jazzy in a weird way. He's at the piano score.
It feels completely improvised.
I was just gonna say, it feels like as if Greenwood sat at a table with a piano in front of him, like a keyboard, and watched the movie play out, and he's just playing along with it as he's watching what happens with Leo's character and the chase that ensues. And it really does ratchet up the tension, that score, and kind of makes the whole movie seem a little unpredictable. Because it never there's no sharp da-dun or...
I think I read online, there's about a half an hour, 45 minutes where that piano is just undercut everything, and there's no other music for about 45 minutes straight.
The Leo chase in the town
is just going.
Is all that score.
Yep.
And sitting there watching it, you're just like, man, this feels like it. The whole movie's obviously this whole narrative has to feel somewhat improvised because there's so much chaos going on in the town and with Leo's character that the score almost matches Leo's mentality in his own mind. Where he doesn't have a chance to just sit down and breathe. It's go, go, go.
Yep.
And he's not allowed to rest, and neither does the score.
I likened it right up to the John Batiste Saturday Night score. Much different movie, but the same type of it's just jazzy piano and it's anxiety inducing. Again, much different movies, but the same type of following one character pretty much the whole time, and this character is in some state of chaos the whole time. And it's really simple but effective in both of these movies. A good, simple, kind of shrill piano just going and going and going. And you would think that after 45 minutes you'd kind of get tired of it, this is, a bit much, but it isn't. It really works, and it's a testament to both Johnny and everything on screen. But yeah, I definitely have to highlight the score to this. It was terrific. What are your thoughts on this film in the scope of the whole film year, so to speak?
We were talking before we started recording. I think this is my movie of the year, and I think it'll be hard to beat this. Obviously, there's still a lot of movies to go. We have the fall festival season, and all the Oscar-worthy movies will be coming out soon. But this is just the perfect mix of commercial entertainment with auteur filmmaking from PTA. And I think that's what I want out of all of my movies. You know, I think that's the stuff we crave.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put these two directors quite on the same level yet, but I think that's why I enjoyed Sinners so much. You feel so much of Ryan Coogler's voice throughout that whole entire movie.
It is very
He's a great
him.
filmmaker in his own right. But my two favorite movies of this year, One Battle After Another and Sinners, you feel the filmmaker in every shot and every aspect of the movie. And I really want this movie
more
to
of those,
which is why I want this movie to be so successful. You know, I know it's not going to be a massive blockbuster, but I want it to make enough money to where the studios feel comfortable handing these auteur filmmakers the budget to make an IMAX. Who would have thought that PTA would be working with an IMAX format, an IMAX camera, and it looked gorgeous. And how could we ever doubt him? You know, he.
Oh yeah.
Like I said earlier, he flexes.
These studio heads, you know, what was the last PTA movie to turn a profit? You know,
that's true,
and that's all they care about. Inherent Vice did not turn a profit. Licorice Pizza did not turn a profit. I guarantee Phantom Thread did not turn a profit.
Yeah,
and that's a masterpiece. Maybe There Will Be Blood turned a profit, but I don't know. We're gonna have to look up, to be honest with you. But you know, unfortunately, that is always the limitation. But again, auteurs like PTA, Fincher, Denis, they seem to get what they want, one way or another, one studio or another. There's a lot of these studios like, PTA, we're not going to make money, but we're going to make it. You know, I think most of the time they do know that. This is not, I don't think this will turn a profit. I hope it does.
I hope it really does.
It's kind of why we're making this. This is such a fun movie. Yeah, it's long. Take a friend to it. It's so fun. It's
very accessible in a weird way. Obviously, it's radical and it's political. Some of it's political ideas.
A couple of walkouts of our theater.
Some older couple walked out.
The first like 15, 20 minutes is very political.
And very intense and violent. And that is where most of the
walkout was.
That was when the walkout was, during a certain montage that I don't want to spoil. That was very well done.
Yeah, but very effective.
I totally agree that as long as studios are making money with other big blockbuster entertainment that is probably some of the lowest common denominator type of filmmaking, they will hand these top tier filmmakers a budget.
That balancing act is probably the whole job over there.
Because they want to give, obviously, well, I'm not under the impression that the Warner Brothers, the company that, the studio that made this, they know that this movie is going to be an Oscar frontrunner.
Yep.
And it'll probably win multiple Oscars. It might be a Best Picture winner. It might be finally PTA's director Oscar. You know, they know what they had here. And obviously working with a director like PTA, it's all quality.
Yeah.
He hasn't made a bad movie. He hasn't made like
anywhere close to a bad
in terms of like the letterbox scale. I don't think he's made anything under a 4, in my opinion. I think he's consistently great, and he's one of those filmmakers where once you see another PTA movie on the schedule, you're pumped and ready to see it as soon as possible.
There's only so many. I named a couple, like Nolan. Chris Nolan is another one of those. You know,
Scorsese, Spielberg, Jordan Peele now.
It's like there's only so many of them.
Right.
And when things like this come out, they have to be appreciated. And the greater film community is appreciating this so far. It's wholly itself. It's very unique, and again, unique, creative, risky movies don't come out every day.
No.
Like you said, lowest common denominator films come out all the time. This is something to be really thought about. It's something to be rewatched. I'm gonna go see this within the week.
Yep, same here.
Ryan our other younger brother Ryan wasn't able to come see it. I think Ryan would love this.
I think he'd dig it too.
I think Gus, our uncle, I think Harlan will really like this. I have a couple. My buddy Nick was actually just Nick is pumped for this movie. This is something that this could become a word of mouth type of event,
I hope it does.
and that's the hope here. But anything else you want to touch on
Yes.
without spoiling anything? There's so much. It was such a long movie, but yeah. What do you have in mind?
I think the second act and third act are some of the most contain some of the most exciting filmmaking I've seen in a long time.
The chase scene, the last chase scene,
The car chase.
car chase, yeah.
Everything happening in the third act, it does not stop for a breath. It always goes. And there's the car chase sequence has some of the most inventive and unique filmmaking where PTA mounts a camera at the front of the car on the hood.
You feel like you're on a roller coaster.
You feel like you're on a roller coaster going up and down the hills in this kind of desert landscape.
Yep.
And it's a really creative way to show how close the cars are to each other and measures out how far the person chasing you is behind you.
Yep.
And that's probably, I know we're not doing categories for this review, but that's probably my favorite sequence and one where I was just totally transfixed. And I think that sequence specifically uses the IMAX format
Oh my gosh, yeah.
so brilliantly.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, you do feel like you're on the roller coaster because it moves up and down this hill, and that it's like a 5 to 10 minute sequence where you don't know.
You are going back to that shot often for a bit.
Absolutely,
But it works
between
every
these
single time.
3 vehicles.
Yep.
And it's so tense, and
It's
and
so-
it really is unpredictable. You really don't know what's going to happen
and, like,
at
just
the end.
Imagine the plotting and like the planning of that shoot and how many I can't imagine how long they spent on that sequence.
Oh, I know.
But it was worth it. I mean, it is the most unique cinematography ever used, at least that I've seen in terms of that type of sequence. It reminded the bridge sequence in Sorcerer just popped in my head, not
Yes.
because of how it's filmed, but just because of like the difficulty in the filming and how long it must have taken and the dedication to the craft. Again, I wouldn't be shocked if this sequence took 2-3 weeks, even longer.
It's reminiscent of another Friedkin movie, French Connection, where
Yep.
he's going down New York, and they filmed that movie that chase without a permit, so they're literally like weaving in and out of traffic. And I also think the camera is mounted on the car in that situation, but it feels so, you have to brace yourself when watching it. And I know it's not as busy as like a New York City atmosphere, but the desert, it's a barren landscape that feels very unsafe, and it's a very busy setting within that chase. You there's only 3 cars, but you feel like it feels like you're in the middle of like a Mad Max Fury Road wasteland.
Yeah, for sure. And you're seeing the heat come off of the road and on the horizon. It again, the IMAX format really lended itself to this sequence, and I was, if that's probably the most impressive sequence. If it's not that, for my favorite, it's just everything with Leo getting to Sensei and everything in the apartment building. I mean, the moment his daughter leaves for the night and things, I mean, it's like a 10 to 15 minute sequence, so it's kind of a cheating that I keep doing on this, but it moves so frenetically, it really is just one scene. But I think that is some of the funniest, most inventive comedy I've seen in a while. And that, I guess that's really what this movie is. It's just, this movie is inventive. And I really hope it gets the love it deserves. I think it should get 15 Oscar noms. It probably won't get that many, but
It'll get a lot.
it will get a lot.
Before we end this, going back to Sean Penn, I'm so glad that PTA used him again in such a creative way. I've never seen Sean Penn in this kind of animalistic. He's this insane militant animal.
Yeah, he's like a Terminator.
He's insatiable.
Yeah.
He can't be stopped in any way. He is so determined, and where that character ends up going is so
Wild.
unique and wild. And his appearance too Sean Penn got jacked for this.
Yeah,
He's huge. He's veiny. He's like old and wrinkly, and it looks like you could like bake it, like you could cook an egg on him.
Yeah.
He's so like red and warm, and it's just
no, he like always drenched in sweat.
it's just
You
gross.
know,
It's really gross.
he is. Everything about his character is really something.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we touched on it, but like he'll probably get best supporting.
He might win.
Yeah,
He definitely might win this year.
he's gonna get a nomination.
He's that good.
He very well could win. I was transfixed every time he was on the screen.
Every time.
It was like a car wreck. You can't help but look at him.
Exactly.
Both before and after certain events happen to him and change very real parts of him. You can't not look. He has a presence in this film that there's a shot of him in the third act coming over a horizon line where it's like this is Terminator. Like
yes.
You know, like this is like Terminator.
He's the
2.
T-1000.
Like just
Yep.
You know, that was one of my favorite shots.
Oh,
in the film.
mine
It was
too.
Just crazy.
Yep.
Just crazy. But you know, Sean Penn was incredible, and he's somebody who I respect his talent quite a bit. There's a lot of times where Sean Penn doesn't always work for me.
Mm-hmm.
This is not one of them. He is incredible in this. I think he was born to be this guy, Stephen Lockjaw, and I couldn't be more enthused about this movie. This is definitely my movie of the year so far. I think it's miles above everything I've seen so far. We'll see what happens. There's a lot of time left, like you said, but I really can't wait to revisit this. You know, It hasn't even been 12 hours really.
No, it hasn't.
You know, but
Yeah.
I can't wait. It's a really astonishing achievement. And PTA has been working on this movie since right after Magnolia in 1999. You know, he started working on the script right around then, I believe. And you know, this is a culmination of everything he's learned, every influence, you can see a piece of everything he's made in here. Clearly he's pulling in other actors who've worked with him before. You know, it really does feel like a culmination. And this would, to me, so far, this would be like a David Fincher level snub. Like
I know.
When Fincher did not win The Social Network, and The Social Network didn't win
Best Picture,
most of what it should have won.
Best Actor. Yeah, it should have swept the Oscars that year, and it didn't.
That was a travesty that like really soured me on the Academy for a long time. And I don't think this is quite to that level. I think The Social Network is, it's a masterpiece, and so is this. But anyway, I think it would be a travesty if this doesn't sweep some stuff. I mean, maybe not Leo, maybe some of the actors don't get stuff, but best adapted screenplay, best director, best picture, I think.
Sean Penn.
Yeah, I think those four could be a lock, and I think they should be a lock.
Yeah, I think that this might be an its time movie for PTA. I'm kind of crossing my
Much
fingers,
like The
hoping it is.
Departed with Scorsese.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, a lot of these Oscars do become makeup awards. It happens with the Emmys too, Golden Globe, you know, all of them, Grammys. It just happens, but it really does feel like time. It felt like time.
It does feel like, and I don't.
It felt like
think
time a decade and a half, two and a half decades ago for this guy.
I don't even think this is PTA's best movie.
Nope.
But this is one of his best movies, in my opinion, and this just really feels like the culmination of 25 years of filmmaking, more than that. They're almost 30 at this point. And he has never been more accessible in his filmmaking and willing to go the extra mile in terms of pacing, like you said, and just really intense filmmaking that doesn't stop for a beat. And it's incredible, and he should win Best Director this year. He really should. Sight unseen in other movies, but he's one of our best working directors right now, and it would be a shame if he goes throughout his career without one. And
I mean, same thing with Fincher.
Makeup Oscar or not, this feels, it's a genuinely great turn from him in the filmmaking chair, and it's worth the price of admission
And then some.
and then some. Exactly.
It really is. Again, it came out yesterday. We went and saw, I think, the second showing that we could go see in this format. We've been talking about this movie for a long time. But I've been hyped for this movie since I saw the trailer. Again, it's a very Stoney, Lebowski, Long Goodbye, Inherent Vice, weird trip of a movie, and again, it shouldn't be for everybody, and this shouldn't be an accessible movie. And for a couple people, it wasn't.
It won't be
But
for some.
Again, taking a Pynchon novel and making it this accessible is insane. It'd be like taking a Hemingway novel and it making $1 billion. It's just like The Old Man and the Sea and turning that into like a commercial smash that just outdid Avatar. That's the type of level of achievement we're talking about. This is a really incredible screenplay, pulling from, like I said, the Pynchon novel Vineland, taking from the last 20-something years of American politics, the last 5 years of American politics, everything in PTA's personal life. He's rolling it all into here, and he's doing it in a very clean-cut, very impressive, very technically impressive package. This movie should be a mess. And it just isn't. It really feels like a miracle. It feels like a miracle.
Structurally, he works usually with ensembles and always manages a way to make it feel legitimately spread out, and you get a chance to know every single character, and they don't shortchange any characters. And with this movie, there are very vibrant actors in the narrative that you want to be with. And we were at the end of the movie, we walked out and talked about how we wanted more of We wanted more of Leo's character. We wanted more of Regina Hall. We wanted more of everybody. And I think that that's such a compliment to the movie. Yeah. Their characters are so indelible, and you want to be around them.
That's a perfect way to put it. And again, doing that is hard. Making characters feel real is hard. I know a lot of people go to the movies and there's like, oh yeah, here, they're not really thinking about it in that way. But you would think that, like Tiana Taylor's character, who wasn't even one of my highlights, so to speak, you could structure like a short film around that character. And she was barely in the movie, It's incredible. And he is one of the few directors who can do that. This is a masterpiece. I know we're rambling on, but it's got everything you want. It's got Leonardo DiCaprio. It's got him having fun in one of the weirdest, wildest, zaniest.
You've never seen a performance of his like this.
No. This is a role that he hasn't jumped into, and now he's jumping into it head on, and he kills it. The look of his character, the tone of his character, the way he talks to other people, the dichotomy between how he talks to the children in the film and sensei or people he respects. He's such a unique guy. But it's got Leo, it's got Benicio, it's got PTA, it's got a ton of up and comers. It's well shot, it's well scored, it's funny, it's deep, it's entertaining.
It's technically seamless. And awesome performances and an amazing director all behind it. I mean, it's exactly what we want in the movies. This is like my definition of like the perfect entertainment, and it's out there. Please go see it.
This is a movie theater movie. Movie theaters, the movie industry is in a free fall. Movies like this, they don't deserve to be streamed. They deserve to be seen on the biggest screen possible, with the loudest sound possible, with as many people as possible. That's what these movies are. That's what movie theaters are. That's what film is supposed to be. And this movie is the epitome of that. It needs to be seen loudly and proudly. But one battle after another. The new PTA movie is out now, and the Uncool show. Dylan and Nathan.
Two big thumbs up.
Yeah, two big thumbs up for One Battle After Another. Go see it. and go see it quickly, because movies are not in theaters as long as they should be anymore.
No.
Just due to the economics of them. But look up a showtime and go. You won't regret it, and if you do, I don't really care anyway.
Yeah.
Go give it a good, go give it a try.
Yep.
But anything else you wanna say about it really quick?
No, I'm good. Like we said, I mean, that's our movies of the year.
Yep. This is it. So, again, there's a lot of movies coming out. The new the Odyssey trailer played in front of this.
Oh man.
That was actually my first time seeing any of that in like a night, and I missed part of it, which was great. But yeah, there's stuff coming out, but this is a movie of the moment. It'll probably only be in theaters for a week or 2 or 2 weeks.
We'll see. Yeah, hopefully longer.
Hopefully
than
2 to
that.
3, which seems to be the longest window possible these days for movies like this.
Yeah.
But it is out now. Go see it. Get in our comment section. Talk to us about it. And enjoy.